to Forever Home channel. On this platform, we discuss all things related to Ghana and Africa. Our real estate company, Royal Consulting Solutions, is the foremost location for all your land acquisition, building needs, relocation, and starting a successful business in Ghana. We also provide quality information through our consultation and webinar series. We can be reached at royalconsultingsolutions.com. Come join the trusted source for all your reliable information. Hey, hello everyone. If you're here, I always like to test audio and image as well. So let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll take it from there. And so, thank you for taking the time to join me here. It's Saturday somewhere, and then I hope your day is going very well. So let me know if you can hear me from that side. Um, so we have one eyeball. So I'm gonna wait. Okay, good. Can you hear me? That's good. Okay, so we got a couple of people trickling. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know where you are watching from, so I can give you a shout out. Anyway, Jack Jackson, thank you for. You must be new, because I haven't seen you here. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Hopefully, you have some questions about building in general, and then I'll take it from there. And so I wanted to uh, USA, Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, good, good. I've never been there. The closest, so I've gone to, what is it? I've skipped that, and I've gone to the farthest I've gone is Florida. So I've passed Jackson, but someday I should. I've heard some stories about Mississippi. So anyway, but thank you for joining me. You're welcome. Feel free to ask some questions, and then I'll try to get them up and take it from there. Also, we do offer in-depth discussions. So if you want to do that, you can join our webinar, which is twice a month, every second Saturday, and also the last Saturday of the month. You can join that, and then you get to participate with other people, and then we can then I can answer some of the questions, so to set you in the right path. So other than that, we're going to take it from there. I'm going to share a little bit what I want to talk about, and then we'll take questions from there. Hopefully, this is not crazy, extremely too long, and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you. One of the things I wanted to talk about is, building, uh, you know, building for the future as well, right? With a lot of considerations. So there are something I consider interior factors and exterior factors. So interior factors will be, okay, so you got a blueprint, you are deciding, what you want to build, so you're picking the layout, the number of rooms, and that kind of stuff. And so whether it's a one story, two stories, you are planning to do that. So those are like interior factors. And then there's something that I will call exterior factors, which basically means something that you cannot really control. It happens, so you just have to make provisions or try to mitigate that. So that would be soil composition, where you are building, how elevated it is, the temperature, you can control that, and also the environmental factors like flooding that happens, whether it's lack of infrastructure, or whether it's nature through hurricanes and that kind of stuff. And so those are the things that you can beginning to factor in, because ideally, you want to move from a house to a home. These are two different things. And so a house is just a structure. A home is a place that you can go and you feel like it meets all your needs and exceeds them. So and so that is the goal. Hopefully that's where you want to be at. And so some of the things, when we look at blueprints and stuff like that, we are factoring all the things that potentially can happen, whether the house needs to be elevated, and also building something for the future. So then, when due to technology, things are improving, things are moving fast, you can just maybe do modifications easily without costing a lot of money. And so, one of the things I want us to think about, which is the details matters, right? The details matters because other than that, you put his house over there, you find that man, you miss some few things that is making your comfort a little bit challenging. So it's about even position of windows, knowing where, how you can access the breeze, and so maybe a window not facing the sun, so you can reduce your intake of AC and that kind of stuff. So it's about so all these things are very very important, and stuff like that because building is a little bit expensive. So one of the things that I would like to talk about, so you can put your questions in, and then we'll take it from there. Is we do have flooding issues. Every year happens in some place in Accra and not just only Accra. So you have to plan how you're going to build, how you're going to modify or even build, making that provisions that your house is not getting flooded every year. Because once you start going to that, it is going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging for you, to do it because you can't uproot the foundation. It's not like the homes here. You can move an entire building to someplace else. So it's very important, to do that. So it start with a blueprint and then making sure everything is adequate. Chances are you are going to change some things when you get on the ground, and you are going to build. And that's the time to do it. That's the time to make those changes, while you're on the ground, and to factor that in. Which some of the changes might require additional cost, but I think it's better to do it in the beginning than trying to fix it, because I do get requests, of people that need remodeling, and I felt like, hey, had the contractor just pay attention to some of the things in there, I think they would have maybe make those suggestions and those provisions, and stuff like, because sometimes not all remodifications are possible, and sometimes it's not financially doesn't make sense to put that money there. So when you planned about a house you are going to build, do some research about technology for the future, what the environmental condition is going to be like in that location of where you are building, and factor all these things in, and then make adjustment, because what usually end up happening is that you could get a competent bidder, but so there's two sides. Usually you have a visionary, somebody who can plan this thing well, sees the hurdles down the road, and then you have somebody who can execute, right? If you can find both in one, that is awesome, but chances are you're going to find either one and stuff like that. So that matters a lot. That matters a lot, because I still see people building now without factoring the flooding conditions, because the challenge is this: you may not have flooding in your area right now, but that may change in 5 years depending on where people are building and overpopulation and that kind of stuff. So plan well, plan well, and then take it from there. So um, and then we'll take it from there, and then you have questions. We can take it from there. So I think I got one question. So, do you issues we have to prepare the soil before being bad soil here where I live? Yeah. So good question. And so one of the things you want to factor in is okay, soil composition, right? And sometimes on the same plot of land, you can have sand on one area and then clay in the other one area. So you have to adjust. You really have to adjust to that and see how you are going to build. Granted, where the clay is, you're gonna, it's gonna be holding a lot of water. So maybe you have to repositioning, that kind of stuff. And if you decide to build over there, then you have to worry about dam proofing and all the series of things you have to do with water saturation on the ground. So these things matters, these details matters and stuff like that. And I feel like Darren, thanks for joining us. I feel like a quality builder should be factoring that in, and maybe you may have to bring that to their attention, because some people just go and build. That's all they want to do, just build. It's a starting process. So you start and you don't pay attention. Next thing you having damping issue and having all kinds of stuff. So you have to do that, and then to slope it well, and which is another factor to remove all the water away from the house. That is always a good case. And so you may have to factor, maybe coming up with some kind of your own drainage system, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to consider. The details is very important, because that will have you build something that is going to be productive and is going to be comfortable for you down the road. So soil location is important. Soil positioning of the house, how elevated the house is, using the sunlight, while using where the breeze is. Sometimes with a breeze, you might be limited where it's blowing from, stuff like that. But then you can maybe, instead of doing 50 different windows, you can break it down to maybe 20 different windows, make them a little bit bigger and stuff like that. So all these things are very, very important for your quality of life, because you want to move and do that. So because I feel like some people are not still doing that right now. We're just building stuff like that. So yeah, the sewage system. So there's a question also too about the sewage system. So you got to start figuring out what you want to do. Are you going biodegradable? Are you going biogas, or septic tank? What are the pros and cons of and all those things? They're very important. We can go deep into that to consider to consultation, and then and give you the pros and cons, so you can make that decision and stuff like that. We have a bunch of projects coming up. We're super busy the next couple of months, and stuff. People are keeping their dreams alive, and so we have projects right now in Kumasi, in Central Region. Next week we're back in Accra for a couple of weeks. Then we go back again, and then in December we'll be in Accra, and then so we're moving around. We are building, so we build everywhere in Ghana. The north. We yet to go to the north for a full project. So we decided we go everywhere to make it happen. We're also exploring other countries, neighboring countries as well. Um, is soil sampling the norm in Ghana? Not necessarily. They should be doing that. Most people just build, and most people don't really understand, what type of soil composition it is and how they have to mitigate that, and adjust accordingly. And so these are something that we factor all that in. And so who you use is very, very important, because the knowledge and experience, you come back experience, factors in. There's a lot of nice homes, several 100,000 homes in Ghana that have been flooded, and it sucks, it sucks to see those things. It sucks to really see that. And so it's like it's all about planning. Good planning leads to good execution. Okay. And so, but hopefully, you're still keeping your plan to move to, the continent, and develop it to your liking, and also grow your businesses, and as well as, okay, be a positive influence in the community. So what and building a house is a way to establish that life, and let people know that you can actually help them as well. So let's another question here. How about running water through the taps in the house? That could be an issue. Yep. So you have to figure it out. Sometimes, when you go build in a non-developed location, so you have to factor in how you're getting water to the house. So that means, obviously, if you do a borehole, the challenge will be, do you have salt content, right? So because obviously you don't want to run salt salt water into your piping system. It's going to corrode your shower heads and all those things. So you have to test it, and then if not, you have to get a biodegradable system to reverse osmosis, remove the salt content, and then you can connect it to the whole house as well. So there's a lot of factors you need to be, factoring in. How do you even get power? If you don't have power lines and that kind of stuff. So all these things matters. Um, and if you want to go off grid for now before the areas becomes developed, what do you need to do? So these things are very, very important. Important questions because it's going to improve, your quality of life. So let me see. Please, these housing restricted covenants. Can you elaborate on that, please, Jackson? Um, and so in Ghana, you don't get too many restrictions. You can build whatever you want. But the most important thing is just making sure you build something that's going to meet all your needs and for the future, because technology is improving. Things are going to change. And I'm excited to see the next 20 years what housing is going to be like. Probably it's going to be a whole different material, and stuff. So it's all exciting and so exciting thing that we're living now. So anyway, so let me see who's here. Jackson is here. Eve is here. Darren is here. Mr. Ivy, Ines, thank you for joining us. But so hopefully, what is it? 2020, almost wrapping around, and you are not letting the election affect you much about what is going on and stuff like that. So you are still planning for executions. I have some friends that left yesterday to Ghana, and I have some that are leaving. Sometime, um, sometime. Where is it? Next week, and so it's going to be a fun. And so let me know if you are building in Ghana and you are making some adjustment to your project as well. Here's a link to join the chat, and so people can get a feedback on what it is you're also doing, because we need to make adjustment. You know, so ideally, how about a self-sustaining house? I always built with the thought that of having a self-sustaining house, um, because it's like I don't want to be a hostage to when I get electricity, when I get water, when I get that kind of stuff, because it may happen or may not happen. So I was built, with all those provisions in there, take care of my power system, my water needs, and that kind of stuff. So granted, it end up costing a little bit more and stuff like that. But hey, you gotta do it. And so let me answer this question. So Jackson, would I have to be concerned about what design size and types are built based upon government policy? No. There's unrestricted. You can build special residential neighborhood. You can put any structure over there. Obviously, that's going to affect the cost of housing permit that you are going to pay for if it's one level to multiple units. And but other than that, as long as it's structurally sound, you'll be good to go. It's not like here that there's restrictions due to county policies and that kind of stuff. Or you can build to your dream. Um, do you have houses already built for sale? Not really. Maybe someday in the future we may entertain that. But now we just build according to exactly what you want, because I feel like there's already homes that are flooded on the market that people can purchase. Granted, the price a little bit high, and stuff like that. So, but if you can build, I think that's the best way to build and stuff like that. So we don't have nothing for sale for now. When is your next webinar? Next webinar is next week Saturday at noon. I posted a link up there. You can join. You can join us, and then we can get. The webinar is awesome because it gets you to also figure out what people the questions that people have and stuff like that. Granted, it's a pro and con. The con is also you also sharing your ideas with people as well. And so, if you want to have all your ideas to yourself, especially your business idea, then consultation is the better route. But if you want to figure it out, what people are also having questions about, then the webinar, then you can join our webinar. Okay. What area do you build? Is that 2%? No, no. So we build everywhere in Accra for now. We are entertaining another country, West Africa as well. So wherever it is in Ghana, we'll go. We'll make it happen for you. Um, and we always employ some local element because when we leave the site, we also want to build our relationship so there can be ears and eyes on the ground as they keep an eye on the project because we can't be there 24/7. So we always develop that kind of relationship. It's very, very important. So we usually employ about 20% of the workforce, in the area that we are building just to, have them feel like they're part of, this accomplishment. Okay, I'm gonna scan through this quickly to see if I didn't miss anything. So I'm gonna keep this thing not more than 30 minutes today. And stuff. I'm trying to keep it short. And so if you have more questions after that, then you can send me an email or anything like that. But um, on that note, also is it's not just planning for the future in terms of just building a loan. You just have to plan for the future. There's a lot of things happening in the financial market. There's a lot of things going on, and people need to really pay attention. What I'm figuring out in the future is going to be a cutthroat moment. It's like nobody's interested. Nobody has time to indulge anybody's pity party. And so is you just have to be planning. You just have to keep your eyes and not lose focus on all the distractions of other things that are going on right now. You just have to figure it out. What is pay attention to the market? What is going on? What is the next platform of monetary? What is the next investment happening? How is the future looking 100 years from now? The next generation, what kind of stocks am I going to buy? Well, there's a lot of stuff in there, and our people are sleeping. We've gone to sleep, deep sleep, and we are not paying attention. So you have to be feature driven because it used to be some of these things are extremely hidden. Now it's about 80% open, about 20% extremely hidden. And so it's about planning. So pay attention. What we're doing now is not going to be relevant down the road unless we strategically plan ourselves for the future and stuff. Yep. So I'll be coming to Ghana for time 2021. Perhaps to look for to build in the mountain area. Mountains are good. A breeze an option. Kwewu Mountain is so another one, and so that's a good spot to go. Question: is it good to buy your own materials for POP ceiling if you know what you're doing and stuff like that? So I feel like sometimes I do get this question: buying materials and stuff like that. So there's pros and cons because the question is, can you determine if you decide to buy it on your own? Can you determine that these are quality materials? What it's hard. It's hard to do on certain things. Um, and so you have to be careful about that. And so my thing is find a reliable team and then have them take care of that because if they buy a material and it's faulty, then you can hold them responsible for remedy that. But if you bring your own material and then is in lacks some quality and stuff like that, then it's on your own. So you have to factor all that in. Okay, that's true. The future is now, and we must really we must wake up. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening that we really need to be very, very careful and be constructive. You know, I'm saying a lot, but I'm saying little. So we have to pay attention. We have to really, really pay attention to what is going on. So, and I'm all about setting yourself up right now to take advantage on the next revolution of what is going on. So what is the minimum bidding price? For example, some companies will not bid unless it's a certain cost and footage. So you see, the most the base that I've seen is 25,000, I believe, for one bedroom or two bedrooms. Um, the danger in Ghana is like even when your budget is low, somebody can tell you they can execute it, right? So I feel like for us, there's certain budget that we just tell is not just going to work, and we are not going to be able to execute that with the expertise and the quality for that price. And so the question becomes, do you want to pay for that service and have something built for peace of mind, or you are going to shop around? Because if you do shop around, you are going to find somebody who will tell you they can execute, and it's going to end up costing you in a lot of ways, especially the first year when you start moving in, you start testing all the appliances and everything else, and then that's when you're going to start noticing this problem. So um, on average, what is it, outside Accra, a good son 2 bedroom, 55 to 65, depending what kind of amenities you want, you will be able to do on a small plot, 1,500 square feet, something like that. And so, but somebody can tell you they can give you 3 bedrooms somewhere. It's like, is and we've done this enough to know that there's a lot of things hiding in between that stuff. So if it's too good to be true, then it's kind of like something that's a hoax somewhere. Same thing with land, okay? And so it's about building, because look at it this way: if you end up doing extension down the road because of space, it's gonna cost you 20-30% more. So it is better for me. Sometimes people like 2 bedroom. I say, look, just make it a 3 bedroom because the cost is relatively cheaper now than even if you're doing like 2 years later. And so these are the discussions that are very, very important to do now and stuff like, so don't everything is connected. Okay, I'm gonna give about 4 more minutes, and then I'm going to wrap it up. If you don't have any more, questions, so let me see. Uzia Jackson, Eve, thank you for moderating the platform. Darren, always good to see you. And then let me see. Malay List, thanks for joining again. Van Dyke, thank you. So anyway, so it's about doing your homework, right? Doing your homework. We can easily get distracted with all the stuff that doesn't matter. Stick to your goals, plan, execute, focus, and just go there and win well. Okay, and in the process, we can help you, execute those things. Okay, so it's about doing your homework. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me see. There's somebody coming in. Let's see. Let's add one more person. Let me take it from there. Hi,
Hi.
you African Melanie. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Okay.
I like your video topic. It's very interesting, very timely too, because I feel like the whole situation in America, a lot of people are thinking about that. If they weren't thinking about that, they're really thinking about that now.
Hopefully
But
they are thinking about it. Go ahead.
oh, yeah, yeah. But, just a reminder, I know you say this all the time, and that's why I like your channel. But I'll be honest with you, building a house isn't as easy as people think that it is. Like buying land and building a house are two completely different things. Buying land is you can buy land anywhere, but it's developing the land that is always going to cost a lot of money because unless you're using that land for farmland, you have to the foundation could cost around like 10,000, and then depending on how many bedrooms it is, it depends on where you are, but I've noticed that most houses that people want cost around 70 70K and upwards. So this is not a small man's thing. Like, yeah, you could take your time and take years to do it, but you can't really cheap out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
people think that you could just use anything and you can use any type of material. It takes a lot of work. Like, I'm not a builder, I'm not an architect, so it would take me to do research or to ask somebody who knows what they're talking about, which is the best materials. I wouldn't be able to just go off of price because that would be an emotional decision for me. Like,
Correct.
you really have to get consults, unless if you've built a house before in the West by yourself, which
Hmm.
I doubt a lot of people did, then you would need to contact a reputable company or reputable people who know what they're talking about in order to make sure that what you're doing is right and that you're going to be happy with what you're looking for. Because if we want to be honest, do you know how many uncompleted buildings there are in Ghana?
I did a video. I'm trying to figure what it was. I did a video about the reasons why homes are not completed, and I think right off the top of my head, so one would be the number one reason: crooked builder. That's one. Number two reason is underestimating the cost. Okay. Number three reason is um, lack of expertise. So they don't really know how to be efficient. Then a couple of reasons is just like things change. Things happen in people's life, right? You got this job, you're making good money. Something happens, you're not making all for health reasons and that kind of stuff. So these are the things that we talk about. We talk about your finances when we do consultation, right? Because people come up to me and say, Tony, I want to build the same house you guys. Say, great. Let's look at the numbers, right? Because what I don't want people to do is house poor, which is all your money is tied to this project and you don't have anything else. And if some financial thing changes in your life, you are stuck. So we look at the numbers and say, look, maybe save more, or maybe if we do one level with 4 bedroom with the style you want, you can still that can be done realistically in 5 years. But and we can do that because we have the numbers, and stuff. And so, but some people don't know, they don't have the experience, and the excitement was got you right. You see other projects on YouTube, you get in there, and then you be like, man, I just put 50 grand, but I'm like, I'm not even at roofing yet. You see, and so these are things that people can help you in the process, so that you have a roadmap on what you are about to get into, because 25% of the homes in Ghana will never be completed, will be abandoned by some reason, whether family taking the money, contractor, all these reasons. There's about 22 reasons, I'll post them, why things don't get done. So you don't want to get yourself caught up in that kind of stuff. So there's a question here, and then I'll let you continue if you have. Um, okay, so let me see. Okay, you go ahead, and then I'll find a question. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually have too much to add today, but I just wanted to say um that it does take a long time. It usually is a process that takes a couple of years. It's very rare that you'll be able to build a house and then the next thing you know it is built like in a year or two. It usually takes a lot of time, and the sketch work, like everything. Okay, let me just give you a personal experience. So basically, we were trying to build a house, and then we bought the land, and we figured out that the house was in an area that was not developed at all. So we had to bring in everything. We had to get the water, we had to get the electricity. We were basically the pioneers in that area. And that ended up costing us about double what we thought that we would pay for. And luckily, I mean, this was a while ago, so it took us some time to do it. But if we were trying to do it like, okay, we're going to build this house and then in 4 years we're going to live there, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So sometimes you also need to understand that it could take a longer time, depending on certain circumstances. But yeah, that's why I guess you should be a little more flexible and not give an unrealistic time frame, like Yeah.
Well said, well said, well said. Thank you for joining us. With that, that is true. Um, I will put you on the backdrop, and then if you want, then you can give me a sign. So anyway, like African Millennial said, so you have to factor in, especially when you get those cheap lands and you are like out of nowhere. These are what happens. You're gonna be bringing everything in. You have to develop the roadway to bring the vehicles in and all that stuff. So you really, really um, want to think about those things, especially if you're the pioneer to develop the area. You're picking up all the cost. Okay, so you have to factor in. So there's a question here: do you build back of homes or traditional native style hut? No, we are not doing that at the moment. There's nothing scheduled for for the immediate future. We just building more kind of like modern style stuff like that. So let me see. Darren, I'm building in GA, but I've been touch before I get going. Sounds good, bro. We can link up. Thanks. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. We went a little bit over, but it was good stuff. Anyway, so you know where to find me, and just let's get your planning going so you can execute. There's a lot of project that's coming out. Like I said, we're gonna be posting some videos as we make them, and then there's exciting stuff. So to get you guys going, start with one step. Okay, start with land acquisition, get in the process with a fence wall, or start with a foundation. That is how I started, right? So it can be done. Okay, it can be done. So anyway, thank you very much to joining me. If you have any questions, you can visit the website. Here I've posted a link, and then we can take it from there to get you, live that dream, accomplish one of the things on your checklist. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Enjoy your Saturday. Appreciate you for joining. Thank you.